What's up, Instagram family? How y'all doing? You know, I wanted to just come on here for a minute. I haven't been over here in a while. I haven't done a live, and I'm going to share this on other platforms as well. But I'm Tracy, the Sacred CEO, and many of you know my story. You know that I was married to an amazing man for the first 6 years, right? And in 2022, I decided to release my marriage, my home, and my multi-million-dollar business, my spa. You know, it's interesting because we were just in negotiations to get a second location in Marietta. I also was being coached on how to create franchises. Like, my visions for my life are really, really big. Hey, Narquita, how are you? They're very, very big. And I've always had a drive where I never want to feel as though I failed. So that means I will continue to keep getting up and dusting myself off until that thing works, right? I will continue to change the plan, reroute myself, change the formula to do my best to get to that space in place that I so desire, that I envision, right? That I see within my third eye. I will continue to keep pushing and treading. So I have so many sisters who are like, they've been coming to me and saying, how did you do it? How did you, just me breaking up with my husband or just me breaking up with my man was a lot. Now, let me tell y'all something, real talk. I didn't say there wasn't going to be grief. I didn't say there wasn't going to be no pain. I didn't say it wasn't going to be no fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say it wasn't going to be no anger. I didn't say it wasn't going to be feel unfair. You're going to get all of that. But we have to learn how to push through. We have to know to stay in the tunnel vision of what it is we need and want, even though we are in these emotional spaces and places that are uncomfortable, right? We have to learn how to move through it. Some days you ain't gonna be able to. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I had got to the point when I released my husband, I had got to the point I was so tired, I was so drained, I was so worn out, I was so disappointed. Did I feel like I failed? That's the thing. Part of me felt like I failed in the marriage, and part of me felt like I didn't. I felt like I gave it all I had. My last exhausting effort was to go to marriage counseling. And when that failed miserably and he chose not to go back, it gave me my conclusion of me being able to move on. So I have sisters saying, well, how did you stay strong? Because when you left, it was just like, you pick back up and just start doing it again. Let me be real clear. When I showed up live with y'all, when I showed up on Facebook, when I showed up on Instagram, honey, I just made myself look good. I did my hair and put on my makeup, but my insides were hurting. Okay? I was going through it. Even though I had made a conscious decision to choose myself and no longer feel overwhelmed, overworked, misused, and abused, even though I left and made a conscious choice to choose myself, I still had all of the results of grief and heartbreak. I still was heartbroken. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? But I had to push through that. So there was many days I was pushing through the pain, baby. That's exactly what I was doing, because I know there's profit in this pain. I know that there's purpose in this pain. I know that much. Why? God has shown me that throughout my life. I have always, one of my biggest, most magical gifts, one of my superpowers is resilience. resilience, right? Being able, I don't want to say bounce back, but being able to bounce forward, right? But I have sisters that they coming to me, they're going, you did it so strong. You just showed up. I said, baby, look, I was toe down. I was toe up. I was questioning myself, right? I was questioning, why did I have to leave, or should I had left? All of those questions came through. Why did I let go of the business? Maybe if I would have did this or did that or did this, it could have changed some things, and maybe I wouldn't have been so exhausted. Maybe when I wouldn't have been so tired, right? Good. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Sharnice. I went through all of that with myself. And the fact remains, I made a conscious choice to choose me over the love of others, over loving other people and exhausting all of my resources with others, for others, and not doing that for myself. So even though I was in that relationship, even though I was in that marriage, I was slowly dying. I was just showing up, and I was making it look good as hell, right? So even after I left, I showed up and just made myself feel better by picking myself up, by doing my makeup, by doing my hair, and also me having these platforms and able to share has allowed me to course through my healing, because why? I can be transparent and I can show my humanness, right? Because if y'all don't know, I'm a go-getter, right? I've been known, honey, to out hustle some people, some shit, right? I have that hustler spirit. I was raised in that. So that's what I know. However, I had to shift from hustle to healed. And that's what I've done. And it's been a journey. And it's actually been it was a year that I left in November of 2023. Okay, it is a year, and I'm happy to say within that year I experienced being homeless, right? All that multi-million dollars, all my resources was gone, baby, gone. I experienced being homeless. I experienced my 2 grandkids coming back here to go to college. I had to figure that out. I experienced my car being repossessed, honey. I had to call my friend real quick, get the money while it was on the tow, right? And pay the tow man to get my shit off. Like, baby, when I say everything dried up for me, everything dried up for me. I had money flow. I've known how to go get money. I've known how to hustle, and not being able to have enough. My soul was tired. Not being able to have enough creativity in me to create a plan and a formula to continue to get, my resources and my needs met. That hurt me deeply. But I understood that the message in that was I needed to sit down, I needed to rest, and I needed to trust. I needed to trust who? Stop just depending on myself, but truly depend on the word of the goddess. Truly depend on my resource coming from mama. Truly depend on mama's bosom. Truly, really get into it, right? Everything I teach, really living it. I was already living it, but now I had to embody it. I had to embody it. So people ask me, how did you bounce back? I said, you mean bounce forward? Because I can't go back. All of those, anything that is behind me, that is in my past, those are all lessons now. They're lessons of what not to do. I don't have X's. I have examples of what not to do, right? So I just want to say, if you choose you, if you are in your 50s and you decide you want a new path in life, maybe your relationship isn't going well. Maybe you feeling used and abused and misused and not heard. See, that was the biggest thing for me in my marriage. I didn't feel heard. And I would always get, I'm supporting you though. I'm supporting you though. I'm supporting you though. Support and help are 2 very, very different things. 2 very, very different things. I needed help. Not just support. I needed help, and I didn't feel like I was getting that. So I had to choose me. And most people at the age of 56, honey, they got skin in the game. They have investments. They not trying to just pack up and let everything go and leave. They like, look at my age. I can't do it. I'm be honest with you. That shit was hard. I was going through perimenopause. And honey, I ain't had no energy. I ain't had no energy. My emotions was all over the place. I had mood swings. I had to go get hormone replacement therapy, honey, to kind of level out my moods and my emotions, right? So I was already going through the change. My family, all them, they thought I was crazy. Honey, I was crazy. I was crazy. She didn't left her husband. She didn't let go of that big, beautiful home, all that. Let me tell you something. I don't ever want to become a slave to my marriage, my home, or my business. And that was what was happening. And I expressed that a lot while I was married. I said, hey, I don't ever want to become a slave to this. And I feel like I'm becoming a slave to this. And I need help in these areas. And if my needs couldn't be met, there was no way that I was going to be a healthy representation of a wife, of a mother, of a grandmother. There was no way, right? Did y'all hear me? So if you're at this stage and page of your life and you feel like I really need to choose me, you're going to have to, all I can say is you're going to have to get real with yourself so that you can make those necessary changes. And if you can make those necessary changes while in the relationship, I say do it. If your husband or if your mate is willing to change, they have to be willing to do the work. They have to. I was told that when I said that I was leaving and I needed to move on because I felt I just wasn't happy in the relationship anymore, and I needed to go get happy with myself, because that's what it was about. I wasn't ever looking to him to make me happy. I love the fact that he enhanced my happiness. I already had happiness. But when I got to a place in a state in my own life where I was unhappy with myself, I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't feeling whole. I wasn't aligned with my purpose because I was giving too much. I knew I had to make a change, and I don't give a damn what age I'm at. Okay? I don't care. Look, let me tell you something. No, I'm never going to feel like I'm in bondage to anything. So you have to understand, I've experienced prison before. I've experienced jails, honey. I never want to feel like I'm in bondage. Emotional bondage, mental bondage, spiritual bondage, and most definitely physical bondage. And I felt like I was in bondage with all of those things. Now, let me say something. When it was good, it was hella good. Oh, baby, when it was good, it was good. But one thing you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to start over and live. You can't be afraid to start over and live. And many of us are afraid to start over because what? We've invested so much into the relationship, we don't think we could do it again. I can remember him saying that, like, I helped you with all this. I supported you in all this. Like you can't get this again. This is what I did this with you. I helped you with this. And I had to say, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. You don't know who you have on your team. I know who I am. I know my track record. I know how creative I am. I know how aligned and connected I am with the all source, all knowing. I know how my ancestors and my spirit team rock with me, baby. I'm favored. So I knew, me being favored, that me releasing the marriage, the home, and the business, and me starting over at 56, I knew it was going to be a bold move. I knew it was going to be a very bold move, and nobody on the outside was going to understand, and nobody was going to feel my pain. I was the only one feeling my pain, and in that, I was the only one who had the power. So yes, I took the leap. I went and got me a small apartment. I went and lived on my own for about 8 months. And guess what? I got a move to vacate letter. In 8 months, I couldn't afford the $2,000 rent. Now, here I am. My bills was estimated at $15,000 a month between the spa, between the my home, between the cars, between the businesses. Because remember, I just didn't have the spa. I had the academy, and I had the tea business. My bills ran anywhere between $15,000 and $16,000 a month. Right? I went from 15, they'll just say, I'm just talking about bills. I ain't talking about the extras. The bills, 15, 16,000 a month. That's everything inclusive, right? Here or there. Once I released all of that, I was no longer making that kind of money. So I got a move to vacate letter on my door. I said, I have never been evicted in my life. Never. I'm being evicted at 57. I got that. And the thing about it was, I didn't stay around to get evicted. What I did is when I got that letter, I tried to get that money up. And when I couldn't find the will and the creativity or the energy, my energy was so low, y'all. When I couldn't find the energy, I just said, well, I got to keep my power. I'm not going to sit here in this apartment. Then I had my 2 grandkids with me. I said, I'm not going to sit here in this apartment and let the sheriffs come knock on the door. That I got too much goddamn pride for that. We ain't doing that. They ain't finna knock on no door talking about we finna put all your stuff outside. No, we're not doing that. So what I did, I called one of my sisters, and I had to rely on my community at this time. I got some beautiful sisters, baby. They came through. And that's the one thing I was scared of. I was scared of relying on other people. And that's why I hustle so hard, because I always love to have my own provision, right? And many of us are like that. We don't like to ask for nothing. We don't like to receive nothing. But I had got to a space where I had to ask, y'all. I ain't had no income. Nothing. When I say nothing was coming through, nobody was buying no classes. I didn't have the spa no more. Nobody was really buying no tea. But every little bit I got was basically for food, gas, stuff like that. Like, I had really hit rock bottom, y'all. I can admit that. I hit rock bottom. And I went to one of my sisters and I said, sis, now this sis, she living with her family. It's 3 of them. And she got like a 4-5 bedroom house. I said, sis, can I come stay with you for a while? And just rest and just get myself together, sis. I need, baby, without a hesitation. Her and her husband was like, man, you come over here, sis. We got you. Not you. We said we wouldn't have nobody stay with us but you. Come on. And I went there, and when I went, I became an asset and not a liability. I did things. I cleaned up. I allowed them to, use the car when they need to use the car. If I gave her money every week, I became an asset because I never, she blessed me. Yes, God blessed them, and I love her so much. Heather, if you listening, I love you. I love you for being there in my time of need, baby. I love you so much, And then, I had an issue where we had all of our furniture in storage, and the storage, I couldn't afford the storage. I was about to lose all my furniture. And I have another sister on here who gave me the money to pay for my storage. Like, I had another sister. I was in the line, y'all, the checkout line, going to get food, and thought I had at least $50 on my card. Got up there, my stuff was $50-something, and all I had was $25. Something that came through and swiped and snatched the money. I had to call a friend in the line. She wasn't answering. I went out to the car, called another friend, told him to hold the food right there. Called another friend, cashed at me the money. I went there and got my food. When I tell you I was living like that, y'all, and I still, in all of that, not one of my sisters denied me anything. Not one of them, right? And in all of that, I still pushed through on God's word, knowing that I am the inherited one, knowing that I am the head and not the tail. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just stayed on it, and I stayed grateful. I didn't look at all of what I had and what I no longer had. I looked at, I need to move forward, and I need to recreate my life. So I say all this to tell you, if you have someone in your life or you're in relationship with that tells you you can't do it, you don't have the strength, and I was told it was my image. They said, I was told, you ain't gonna leave me. You ain't gonna leave this house. You ain't finna give nothing up. Why? Because you concerned about your image. That's the very words I got back. So what I'm hearing, how I interpreted that is, oh, you think I'm finna be locked in because how I'm showing up for the people and how the people see me and view me. I can give a fuck about how these people view and see me. I'm finna go through the mud again. I'm finna release all this and go through the mud again. Why? Because it's about how I view me. And I know who I am when it's all said and done. I know what I'm capable of. Now, I'm gonna be real honest with you. At 56, it was different because my energy level was much different, right? When you in your 50s, you starting to get into conserving energy. Honey, it ain't like in 20s and 30s where you just got that bounce back, that bounce forward. You can get it because you got that kind of energy. Oh, no. It's much different. So I really had to go and talk to God and talk to my spirit team and say, look, whatever I'm recreating and whatever you have me doing and going, I need this to be the foundation for how I will live out the rest of my life, because my energy level is not the same. And I just need peace. I just need peace, and I need order, and I needed structure. And at that moment when I left, I had none of that. So I say this to tell you, you are feminine energy. Don't ever stay in a situation that is abusive mentally, physically, or emotionally. Right? And if you ever decide to move on, to save yourself and choose you, understand, with you being feminine energy, you have the ability to birth, rebirth, and you have birth, death, and rebirth constantly in your DNA. You understand me? You are the mother. You are the feminine energy. This is not about just being fertile from your womb. This is about you having the beauty and the mysticism of feminine energy. And in feminine energy, with feminine energy, we have the power to create, destroy, and recreate at any time we choose. Understand when I tell you that. Please understand that. And because I know that, I know who I am in the goddess. I know who I am to the mothers, and how much I truly understand the return of the matriarch. I couldn't let my mother, my grandmother, nor my ancient grandmothers down. They had been through too much already. I think about the times they couldn't get property. They couldn't buy property. They couldn't buy a house. They couldn't even have a job, right? They had to do things around the house, wash clothes, watch kids, and things like that in order to bring in some extra income. But now we have too much access, all right? We have education. We have property. We have money. As women, we have too much access. And we have the benefit of technology. That's something our parents didn't have either. That's something our mothers and great grandmothers didn't have either. So I had to come new with what was in front of me. And I've always believed, even though I was down, I wasn't out. Even though I was down, I wasn't out. So I'm here to tell you, you have the ability to create, release it, let it go, and recreate again. You should always be creating yourself and recreating yourself for your next level of evolution anyway. So I wanted to give you that message and let you know that I do have an ebook coming out. It's going to be a hard copy as well. And it is called Courage faith, and a whole lot of crazy. Courage, faith, and a whole lot of crazy. Because yes, I know I seemed crazy to everyone else except myself. But guess what? I've moved forward. I have a nice, beautiful home. You know, I have my car. I have my grandkids who are both going through college. I am creating, continuing to create and build on my academy, Love My Womb Academy. I'm continuing to create and rebrand on my tea business. And I've also shifted in the area of friends. I've shifted in the area of friends because that's going to be necessary too. Some people that were there with you aren't going to be there with you in your next level of recreation, and that's okay. And if you come back around, share the love, but if you don't, that's okay too. Why? You have work to do, beloved. You have work to do, and this is on every level and area of your life. And if you need time to retreat and rest, do that. Honor that. And then get back to it and come up with a plan. If you are interested in being in the academy, yes, go over to Love My Womb Academy. Go to Love My Womb. And matter of fact, Phoenix, I'll send you a link for a free V-steaming class for self-care. I'll send that to you, and that way you can go into the system and be registered with that. And we can talk also. If you want to send me a DM, we would love to have you, right? So this is Tracy, the Sacred CEO. I just needed to share that with you. I've done a lot of healing within this past year and a half, and I continue to do more. But one thing I knew I had to shift. I had to shift from hustle and grind into really getting into this healing. And I notice a lot of women are doing that now. They're moving into the so-called soft life, right? So I created a much softer life that also is owning its own success, and you'll hear more about it. So if you are interested in that ebook where it tells a little bit more about the story of me releasing my marriage, my home, and my business, it also talks about, it's not your average, it's actually 21 ways to learn 21 ways to have crazy gratitude, right? Because gratitude was the thing that really helped me through this experience. It was gratitude, just being grateful for little things, small things, people, places, trees, birds. Gratitude. It was the medicine of gratitude. And I seen gratitude in a whole nother light. You know, most of us, when we're down and out and we're not doing well, it's hard to sum up the gratitude. Why? Because we've been taught to live in doubt, in fear, in shame. Even in the doubt, in the fear, and the shame, honey, I will find the gratitude. And I tell her, the devil is a lie. The devil of doubt, the devil of shame, the devil of guilt, the devil of being stupid, the devil of my choice. No. Because I knew it was something better on the other side. And whatever it looked like, I didn't know right now. But I trusted. As the word says. I trusted in the Most High. It said, peace, be still. And I had to be still. And I had to realign with my purpose in my anointing. I love you. Peace and blessings. I hope this live brought you some value. All right. Have a great day.